Okay, this is the corollary to the side splitter theorem. We've got this particular ratio going on. We've got 3x over 4x equals 3x plus 7 over 5x minus 8. And something that you can do with these, which is nice and convenient for you, is to simplify this out. Okay? And the only problem with that is if we were dividing by 0 somehow. But we know that they can't both be 0 because they're actual lengths. So it's not a problem. We can cancel it out. And what we get is the simplified proportion of 3 over 4 equals 3x plus 7 over 5x minus 8. Now we can multiply the diagonals. What does that look like when we do it? Well, we say that times that equals that times that. I'll write it down here and then we'll write it up top later. 3 times 5x minus 8 equals 4 times 3x plus 7. Then when we multiply this through, we get 15x minus 24 equals 12x plus 28. And that's what I'm going to write up top to continue solving this. Okay, 15x minus 24 equals 12x plus 28. Okay, what can we do from here? Well, just solve it the way you know how, and this shouldn't actually be a problem for any of you, hopefully. So let's just do it so you can see all the work. We will, I want to get all the x's positively to one side, so I'm going to take the smaller amount here like that. We get 3x minus 24 equals 28. And we add 24 to both sides. $52. Okay. Now I got to divide both sides by 3. And 52 doesn't divide as a whole number by 3, so we're just going to keep it as 52 over 3 because, as you can see, that is one of the options, A, down on the bottom. So let's mark that. We're done for that one. We're dealing with the same idea here, which is that we set, basically what you've got here is you've got parallel lines cut by transversals, and so the sections of the transversals will be proportionate within each transversal. So we can say something like this. What are we looking for? They're saying plots of land between two roads are laid out according to the boundaries shown. The boundaries between the two roads are parallel. And what is the length of plot 3 along Cheshire Road? Where is plot 3 along Cheshire Road? Right here. Okay? And that's going to match with this side, 75 yards, just like 40 yards matches with 48 yards from plot 1. Okay, so there's multiple ways that you could actually write it. You could say 40 over 48, top of plot 1 to the bottom of plot 1, equals, let's call that x up there, we're looking for. X over 75, top of plot 3 over bottom of plot 3. You could also do it from one to the other. You could say the plot 1 along Cheshire Road, 40, is to the plot 3 along Cheshire Road, x, which is equal to plot 1 along Shelby Road, 48, over plot 3 along Shelby Road, 75. No matter what, when you set it up like that, look what happens. You get 48 multiplying with x in that direction and 40 multiplying with 75 in that direction. So it doesn't matter how you do it, whether you do it this to this equals this to this, or whether you do it this to this equals this to this. Okay? So what do we get when we multiply those? We get 48 times x, 48x equals 75 times 40. Well, I know 75 times 4 is 300, so add another 0. That's 3,000. So 48x divided by 48 equals 3,000 divided by 48. And what do we get there? I'm not really sure, actually. Let's do it. Let's do the math. I'm going to do it down here. 3,000 divided by 48. 48 is about 50, so how many times does 50 go into 30? Doesn't. It's not big enough. How many times does it go into 300? It goes in 6 times. I'm going to take that as my guess. Let's see what we get when we do 48 times 6. Get 8. Carry the 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 4 is 28. So we're subtracting 288. And we get 12 left over. And then we say, how many times does 48 go into 120? Well, it goes in about twice, I think, because it's about 50 and it doesn't go into it 3 times. So let's say twice. It's 96. When I subtract that, I get 24. Wow, that's exactly half of 48. So if I put a decimal here and brought a 0 down, that would go in 5 times. So 62.5 yards, that's what B says, and that is what the answer is.